No.
Hello everybody.
Shut up. Ahoy hoy and welcome, I'm Pavo.
Sorry? Do you want to say that again?
Oh God.
What did you do there? Pavel.
Okay.
New language.
Let's start again. No. Ahoy hoy! It's... Oh fuck.
What are you doing?
What is it? Ahoy hoy! I'm Pavo. Yeah. That's how I always do it. Okay.
We used to always just go, hello, I'm Pavel.
Bonus content for the video.
Yeah, there we are. Mistakes.
Yeah. Ready? Ahoy hoy, I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly digest of all the Star Wars news you need to know, whether you do know it or not, or whether you want to know it, or if you just don't care.
That's very positive.
Thank you.
So everything's there for us. Yes, so shall I fire straighting?
Well, straighting.
Straighting?
I think you should fire
Oh
straighting.
dear, what's going on tonight?
I don't know.
You've been letting off some weird gases in here.
I have been doing that. I just did that. Anyway, let's not go down that route.
No, so episode 67?
What?
Yeah, we're episode
Gosh, I
67.
only thought they got up to 8.
No. This. That's
Oh, right.
No Moon.
And this is episode 67.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. So in an
Absolutely.
Okay. So in an interview with KUSC, John Williams has indicated that episode 9 will be his last Star Wars score. He said, JJ is preparing episode 9 that I will hopefully do next year for him. It will round up the series of 9 that will be quite enough for me. Disney will take it further and will probably continue on to do Star Wars films for decades to come, so I think it's all good. So it seems that this is his last Star Wars film, although he is signed on with Lucasfilm to do the Indiana Jones reboot.
Indiana. Why do you always say it's for posh?
I don't know.
Indiana
Jones.
Indiana.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, it's a Star Wars podcast, so it doesn't really
Yes.
matter. So that's quite sad, really, in a way, but he's left a nice legacy with 9 movies.
Well, I think he's been very lucky in the fact that he managed to do all the Harry Potters. No, he didn't do all the Harry Potters, did he? No, what am I thinking? No, he managed to do all the prequels because I mean, he was sort of getting on in age when the prequels.
Anyway, yeah,
he must have been in his 70s.
I still think he is probably the best composer of movies. Some people would argue, but if you think his track record, 9 Star Wars films, that's not including the standalone because he's done a bit for the Solo movie, Harry Potter movies, Jaws, probably one of the most iconic themes, Close Encounters. What other ones have I missed? Indiana Jones, Superman.
Yeah. There's so many.
They're so iconic as well, aren't they?
They are iconic. And the thing is, you've got to look at the fact that how great it is that he's done all 9 episodes. There's no disrespect to other ones, but I do feel that you listen to Rogue One and you can tell the difference.
Well, it's not straight away. It's not John Williams.
No.
John Williams has got that unique style. That's why there isn't many composers doing what they do, I suppose.
No.
Can you think of any other composer that would be nearly now?
Hans Zimmer,
maybe.
I think is the nearest for me. Michael Giacchino's got some good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think Hans Zimmer in the modern day is probably the modern day equivalent. But saying that, if someone said to me, right, then give me 5 themes that Hans Zimmer has done, I could probably give you...
Well, you go Titanic.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Gladiator.
Yeah, but could you sing them to me?
Well, no, because it was very operatic.
Right.
But
But then
I couldn't even do Titanic.
You could reel off 10 John Williams.
Yeah.
Just by going la la la, couldn't you?
Just by doing that, is that all
La
it
la
does?
la. That is it.
Right, everyone, listen to me. This is what you're going to play.
Yeah.
La 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 la
Exactly.
la.
I think that's how he does it.
Is it
He
really?
doesn't write music, no.
Wow. So, talking of scores, obviously you saw The Shape of Water, which won the Oscar.
Yeah.
And the guy that wrote the score for that is no longer with us. He died a bit young, didn't he? Have you read
Who
about
was
this?
that?
I can't think of his name now. He died quite young. And they were saying the score for that was phenomenal. And they were actually talking about him being the next John Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but unfortunately he's died very young.
Oh, dear. Just talking about that, did John Williams win the Oscar?
Do you know, I didn't go down that far of the list.
I noticed that Roger Deakins did.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
I think they had to. I think they would have got lynched if they hadn't.
We will have a look at that on our radio.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so the series finale of Rebels has aired, and it's changed what can happen in the Star Wars universe, or has it? What has set up the Ghost Crew for more adventures, it has also changed aspects about the whole saga, introducing time travel. While it was never called this, it's referred to as a world between worlds. So series creator, Dave Filoni, has explained that he feels it is not so much time travel, but another aspect of the Force. Now, I had a look, because we spoke about this last night, and then I had a look into this. What's your take on it? Because I'm really undecided whether it could really change. I'm with some of the other Star Wars websites that are like, no, I don't think it will.
I mean, they haven't broadcast these episodes in
the UK,
Britain and the UK yet, but with the wonder of YouTube, I watched a few select clips today, and I watched the bit that is the.
Because they showed that there is on YouTube. If you want a spoiler, you can watch the very final scene.
Yeah, which hasn't really got anything to do with
the time travel.
The time travel aspect, but the time travel aspect is more to do with the fact that, and well, spoilers, I suppose, if you haven't watched Rebels yet, that in the cliffhanger final episode of season 2, Vader and Ahsoka Tano are having a lightsaber fight, and you don't know what happens. And then what they've done is that Ezra Bridger, who is in this world between worlds, where he can see there's all these different portals of things that are going on in the Star Wars universe, and he sees this fight between Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader, and pulls Ahsoka Tano out of that. And what they're saying is that sometimes it's better not to actually mess about with the stuff that has already happened, because there was another point in this season, in the final season, where his master, if you like, Kanan, is holding back this fire to save the rest of them, pushes them out of the way, and then dies himself. Again, spoilers. If he hadn't have done that, then Ezra would have died. So
right.
what they're saying is that you've got to be careful what you decide you're going to go and do, because the ramifications, the butterfly effect thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The ramifications of what you do in the past can have massive effects on what happens in the future. So I think that's where they're trying to get themselves out of that little corner, that the fact that if this is available, what's stopping Yoda from killing the Emperor when he's a little baby, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
which is if you look on the forums and some of the fan sites, is what they're saying. Some people are, whereas on the other foot, people are saying, well, why would they start to do that, and why would they bring?
I mean, it's an interesting aspect that they've put in, but I always think of time travel as a way of getting out of situations.
Well, like a plot device, isn't it?
It
sort
is.
of. It's like exactly like you said. It becomes a plot device. But if you think about it, I mean, they've 9 films in, and there isn't any time travel. I mean, warp speed, I suppose, in a sense, is some sort of time travel because of how far.
Not in that.
Not in the sense of you're going back and changing anything, but I don't think it's needed. So hopefully it doesn't bring it into the stream of the new films, maybe that Rian Johnson is creating, or the series that the guys from Game of Thrones are going to do. I hope they don't start doing time travel, because I know we shouldn't mention it on a Star Wars podcast, but Star Trek, the reboot with that JJ did, the first one, I didn't enjoy the plot that much of the time travel, because it took me out of the movie a little bit, because it reminded me so much of the remake of Lost in Space.
Yeah, but like you say, it's totally a plot device.
Yeah.
And the trouble is it then makes what has gone on before irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because everything could change. Do you know what I mean? It's like if they could decide, I don't know, it's just if somebody then has the power to be able to go into this world between worlds and decide that they're going to change something, it doesn't matter
what's happened, or what's been.
Then that means that all of the movies that we love then mean nothing.
No.
From whatever point is they decide to change something.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. You're quite right. Because everything could just stop on a whim.
Yeah, I mean,
like you said, the Emperor could be killed at childbirth. Or whatever.
I find it bad enough after watching. I mean, I love The Force Awakens, but after watching The Force Awakens, for a while, I found it hard to watch A New Hope.
Oh, because of the quality?
No, because of Han Solo.
Right.
Because I know what Han Solo's fate is.
Okay.
So he's this young, cocky, scoundrel, and you think, your son is going to kill you. And it really made it hard to watch A New Hope. It made it a bummer to watch A New Hope for a while. I'm not so bad now, but that was just a really weird reaction that I got in the fact that I just didn't realise it would affect me that much.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because I've watched it, but I haven't thought about it really.
No,
it just didn't sort of register. It's almost like two different characters.
Yeah, but you watch him wisecracking and like this and being all devil may care and a hero.
You know what's going to happen now you said that? I'm going to go, when I watch A New Hope next time, that's what I'm going to be thinking.
You're going to be all bummed out.
I'm going to be, oh, for God's sake. Oh, no. And I've never really thought about it. I've always sort of, I know they're not, but obviously you think about them almost like two separate characters because of the time difference. So. Right, let's move on. So the Last Jedi novelisation has hit bookshelves and is already causing a stir with the content. Now, Star Wars movies novelisations have often had extra pieces in them to further expand stories and tell you more. But it seems the latest one is a real eye-opener, especially with the opening line, which says it all, really. And it goes like this. Luke Skywalker stood in the cooling sands of Tatooine, his wife by his side. Boom. So that's obviously sent a lot of people into a little bit of a frenzy online and saying, what's this? What's this? There's sand everywhere. There are a few significant additions and alterations to the plot, but the biggest is that of what I've just said, which Luke's dream is he has never left Tatooine. He is married to a woman called Cammy. But who is Cammy, we ask?
Who is Cammy?
Well, it seems we have seen her before, and this dates back from A New Hope, where George Lucas created a subtle second love interest for Luke called Cammy. You can see this woman.
That's not Koo Stark, is it?
Yeah, in a deleted scene played by a very young Koo Stark.
Yeah, because she's with somebody else in the scene, in the deleted scene.
That's right. It's when he goes off to the whatchamacallits, isn't it? And she's there. Yeah, you can see it, and it's there on YouTube for you to see.
I didn't realise her name was Cammy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So a little bit of research. So that's the big plot difference in this, of Luke wishing that he'd never got involved, and it's almost just a play on what he already is in the movie, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of regretful of what's happened and what's been. So you a fan of the novelisations?
I love the novelisations. And it was our good friend Justin Bolger that told us when he was on a podcast
a while ago
now, saying that you had to listen to the audiobook of Revenge of the Sith, because that would change your perception of the whole prequel trilogy. And I did that, and I absolutely agreed with him.
So is that the first one you went into?
That was the first one that I went into. Then I because I've got Audible, so I get like my free
so you listen to it,
like credit every month, and I've listened to the old radio novelisation of Star Wars, which was a lot of fun.
Who was it?
Well, Mark Hamill was still in it.
Yeah, there was some, I can't remember who was playing who. There was some famous people in it.
They're more famous when you see them. You think, oh, I recognise them, not the names as such. Catalyst, which was the precursor to Rogue One, which was really good.
Which you've told me to read.
They're very, very. I mean, they're really good as audiobooks because they have a little bit of the music and stuff like that. Force Awakens I listened to as well. And
was there much different in The Force Awakens?
Not really.
No.
Not really. It's more that you get their inner monologues and you get how they're feeling and the more of the emotion. And I've got the pre-purchase of The Last Jedi. So tomorrow at work I will be spending 7 hours and 54 minutes, I think it is, listening to The Last Jedi. So I'm gonna hopefully listen to all of it tomorrow. And I can't wait because I thought it was the 6th it was coming out, and I checked my phone and it wasn't. So I was really a bit pissed off that it wasn't already on there.
Because I remember they used to do the novelisations of films when we were a lot younger, and it used to be the thing that we'd go out and buy because it used to take so long for the movie to come out on home sort of entertainment. Yeah. So I remember getting Gremlins and it being quite different. What was the other one I had? Goonies. I had a couple of the Indiana Jones. I had Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom had bits missing, but also exaggerated the gruesomeness. Remember when he had his heart ripped out? That was very gruesome in a bit. And then I had the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, but I don't remember it being any different to what I'd seen on the screen in those back then.
No, because I think back then, didn't they? Sometimes they would take them from the movies.
That's right. It's right
rather than the other way around. Whereas this one, it sounds like it's been almost like a separate project. Them writing the novelization, because like you said, they obviously, from what we've heard, they mention or they reference Han's funeral in the book.
Right.
But obviously, I all these things. Sometimes, is it true? Is it not?
Until you read it.
Until we read it. So yeah.
The one thing we do know is that opening line.
Yeah.
Because that's out now.
Yeah.
So it's out in America, is it?
I think so. This is the other thing that's I'm frustrated with is there's loads of books that people say are really good in the new canon that are really good to listen to, but they're not available on Audible in the UK. It's like Lost Stars is one, and that's one where it's two peripheral characters that are a bit like star-crossed lovers, but then they sort of flit in and out of major Star Wars like moments.
Right, okay.
And it's something that I would really, really would love to be able to watch, but I can't. Or listen to, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, so, you know.
Do you remember, also going back, let's have a little reminisce about the things we used to buy when we were younger. I had the Star Wars one of both of these. One was the vinyl, or tape, I should say.
Yeah.
We had the little R2 bleep bleep to turn the page. So you read it with what you were hearing.
Yeah, like a book, yeah.
And also, I always wish they still did these, where you would buy like what looked like a magazine, but as you read it, it would unfold, and then underneath it would be a huge poster. Do you remember these?
No.
I had a couple of them. I always had Conan the Barbarian one as well. So it came like a magazine, so it was all neatly folded. So your first bit, you would open it up and read what was inside there. It was usually about sort of a bit behind the scenes, how they did some of the special effects, and then pictures of that, and also, those sort of things, and the design, and then inside the Millennium Falcon. So you'd unfold this magazine, and eventually it would become like the size of that poster behind you, maybe even a bit bigger, of Star Wars. Always wish I'd kept them. Always wish I'd kept them.
Stuff like that would probably be worth a fortune.
Yeah, but then it went up on my wall. As it would. It's the same thing with the toys, Pav, isn't it?
Indeed.
Think about all the toys we had.
Oh, let's not, please. I don't want to be
and lose.
really down.
Right, so let's move on. Disney have announced 26 movies leading through to 2023. So the question we ask, what does this mean?
26 movies?
Leading through to 2023.
What, as in Star Wars movies, or just...
No, just an announcement of the release dates, alright?
I love Star Wars, but that's just ridiculous.
So what does this mean for the Star Wars universe? Well, apart from the Solo, released this May, and then Episode 9, released next Christmas, there doesn't seem to be any listed, or is there? So we have a look. So it starts this year with the 26th they've released. It's Black Panther, which has already been released. Then it goes Wrinkle in Time, Avengers. These are all the biggest that they've done with the release dates. And then it goes to Solo. So we've got the Star Wars movie there. Incredibles, Ant-Man, and then Christopher Robin, Nutcracker, and Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Mary Poppins. And it keeps going.
I always forget that Wreck-It Ralph is a Disney movie. I don't know why.
It looks very funny, that new trailer.
Good.
Mary Poppins returns. Captain Marvel, the Dumbo live remake, which has got the 29th of March next year. Not even seen a poster for that yet. Penguins, whatever that is. I would imagine. Can't be Madagascar, can it? Yeah. And then Avengers, the next one. Toy Story 4, Aladdin, and then The Lion King. And then they're doing this big franchise of Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
And then there's Untitled. So they got release dates for these movies. Untitled.
And what's the release dates of those?
So this is the 4th of October 19, and then the 8th of November 19. Frozen, which is then 27th of November 19, and then Star Wars at the moment has got 2012 19.
Okay, well those Untitled ones aren't going to be Star Wars.
No, and then we've got a new Disney live action picture. This is how they're naming them now, which is the 14th of the 2nd, 2020. Untitled Pixar animation.
Okay.
This is how they worded them. 6th of the March 2020. Then we have the Mulan live action.
The Mulan.
The Mulan. We have then the new Marvel movie, which hasn't even been told what it is. Right. Just says Marvel movie.
I mean, that could be
anything.
Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2.
Could be anything, couldn't it? So that's the 1st of May 2020. And then they put them Disney live action movie.
Okay.
5th of May 2020. Pixar, and then it keeps doing this, and then Indiana. Was that better?
Yeah.
Jones 5. And then
when's that? 2020.
That's the 10th of July 2020.
So that'll be just before Harrison Ford's birthday.
And how old will he be?
I don't know.
He'll be his late 70s by then, won't
it's 13th of July, his birthday.
Yeah.
That's only because I remember it, because that was the same day as Live Aid.
And then all was it?
It was, yeah.
And then all the way down, then from Indiana Jones being told of the release date, it goes all the way down with dates, just saying Marvel, Disney live action, Disney animation, Marvel, Disney live, Disney live. No mention of Star Wars then after episode 9.
Okay.
So this then leads me to say, are they actually doing the Obi-Wan film? Because would that not have a release date in there if they were doing it?
That's what makes me think that sort of all of those Star Wars story movies have now been pushed away for a bit, or maybe even completely cancelled, because they're giving one person a trilogy or a series of films, or as in
like Ryan Johnson, yeah. And then the guys
but they're not just getting a trilogy; they're getting a series of films.
Yeah.
So it makes you think: are they going to be almost like showrunners? Kevin Feige,
for Star Wars,
of a batch of movies.
But I still find it weird that there's nothing listed in there as a Star Wars.
But then the other thing is, there's no reason that they're going to keep to those dates. You look at the DC, where they had all of these ideas that it was going to be Justice League Part 1, Part 2, Cyborg movie, this movie, that movie, Flash movie, which it doesn't really.
The only one that's coming out now is Wonder Woman 2 and Aquaman, isn't it? Aquaman.
Well, they keep saying, Flashpoint apparently has got a director now.
Right.
But it's
not one that's actually in production, is it?
No, but then none of those movies are in production. Do you know what I mean?
It's with regards to the Marvel, we know they'll be out on the days that they earmark, because they will have the phase, whatever it is.
Yeah, but they may not be exactly those dates. You look at how with Infinity War, they've brought it forward a week.
Well, the Star Wars Episode 9 will probably come forward a week.
Possibly. But yeah, I'm not saying it's not worth the paper, or not worth the pixels that it's printed on, but you're looking at up to 2023, did you say?
2023.
Well, who knows? Alien overlords might have overtaken us by then, and
I suppose we might not be here.
Well, they might have inserted probes into our anus, and we'll be watching movies through our nostrils. We don't know, do we? You just don't know.
So anyway, it was just interesting. The only one of those they do say one of the live action ones will be another Pirates of the Caribbean.
More than likely.
Well, still the one. I've not seen it, but that made a shitload of money. So
it's not bad. It's not a bad movie.
No. It's all right, is it?
It's all right.
So anyway, so that's the list, and I just thought your opinion on that, and you've given it to me.
I have.
And that's it. That's all I got for you today.
Is that it?
Yeah, it is. So if you've got any comments on the books, or what's coming soon with the release schedule, or Rebels, do please comment below. And when you do comment, do remember to press the like button, please.
Indeed. And also all the other stuff.
Yeah, if you want to get hold of us, if you want to see us, if you want to be with us, everything you need to know is on our website, pancast.co.uk.
It is, and come and subscribe to the podcast, and come and leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. We'd love to hear what you think of the podcast, and that is the version of this show where you don't have to see our faces. You can just listen to our lovely voices. Nice. So that's it for another week. That's episode 67 in the old ball bag, and off we go, ready to see what kind of news there's going to be for this following week.
It's the longest close in the world.
Filibuster. I'm going to keep going till an hour, because it's one of those things. You see, radio started. Oh. The microphone even gave up.
Yeah, it's all going to pot.
It's all going to pot. It's been wonderful to be with you all again for this week, which has been episode 67. We just had somebody sent a message saying, Stu and Dave's channel of Geekitude, did you really just say the last Pirates movie was okay? That's our Stu, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's our Stu. Yeah, I thought it was okay, Stu.
And
you've got to remember the fact that Stu just doesn't like any kind of movies.
Well, unless it's got Bruce Campbell in.
Unless it's got Bruce Campbell in, of course. I mean, when it comes to movies, we really start filibustering now. I'm going to go for it now.
Yeah, I'm going to actually have umbrage with Stu, who did his top 5 horror films. As much as I love the people involved, Subconscious? Really?
Yes, again, as much as we love the guys involved, yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Put it this way, I can think of 5 better horror movies. It might come in at 6. Mightn't it? Remember your own film.
Yeah. I've just got a bad neck.
But Stuart saying I loved I, Tonya. I wouldn't call that a horror film. But,
No.
But no, yeah, okay. I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to give any reviews on it. But the thing is, I think Stu's a little bit like Mark Kermode, isn't he? Where he doesn't particularly like all of the popular movies.
But if you listen to Mark Kermode, I think he actually likes more of them than you would think.
Yeah, he's changed his mind on The Greatest Showman.
He has. He went to see it with a packed audience and has changed his mind.
And that's what I'm happy to hear, because although it doesn't make me... This is the thing about critics, isn't it? You always love hearing other people liking the movies. It doesn't make me change my mind on a movie. I still love movies and still hate movies, and whether somebody else says they hate them or love them, that's great. It's the same as with The Last Jedi. Let's bring it back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I felt really sad with the fact that so many people hated the movie and were coming out with such nasty things about it.
Especially after the first viewing.
Yeah.
I come out really loving it, and there was people in the audience going, "Wow, I didn't like that."
Well, I was one that still wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't,
and I was really buzzing after the first viewing, but hey.
Stu just said, when you just compared me to Kermode, we're not friends anymore.
See, you don't like anything, Stu.
Yes, come on, Stu. But yeah, so it's always nice if you like something that other people like. If they don't like it, it doesn't make me like it any less.
No.
You know, so, Stu, I still like you.
Yeah, we love you,
Stu.
Else
doesn't like
Even though
you
you made us watch that weird Bruce Campbell brain dead thing.
Brain slasher.
Yeah. And that was in your top 5 as well.
That was another one, wasn't it? That was
a struggle.
That was made and put on film.
Yeah. And it had quite a Hollywood person in it. It just...
Anyway, we've gone far too long on this episode.
That was a real filler, wasn't it?
Thank you very much, Stu, for adding some comments. Thank you ever so much. And thank you all once again. We will see you all once again next week for episode 68 of the only Star Wars show that really matters. Watch all the films. Watch the TV shows. Come on. Star Wars forever. We love you, Stu. That's it for episode 67 of That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
Don't get plumbed, you fuckers. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Anyway, that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.
Thank you very much, Stu, for commenting. We'll see you soon, I hope.
See you soon, son.
Hopefully you'll come to our anniversary show.
Yeah.